The rise and fall of Hollywood's studio system. Hello, dear learners. Today, we'll dive deep into a pivotal chapter in the history of English-language cinema, the decline of the studio system during the new Hollywood and independent cinema era. Let's uncover the stories behind the screen. The studio system was a means of film production and distribution, dominating Hollywood from the early days of the movies until the 1960s. Major studios, like MGM, Warner Brothers, and Paramount, not only produced films but also owned the theaters where those films were shown. This gave them unparalleled control over both production and distribution. Actors, directors, writers, and other creatives were often under exclusive contracts to the studios. This means that they couldn't work for any other studio unless loaned out by their employers. Several factors led to the decline of this mighty system. 1. Antitrust laws. In 1948, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a case known as United States versus Paramount Pictures, ruled that owning production and exhibition businesses constituted a monopoly. Studios were forced to sell their theaters, leading to a huge loss in guaranteed audiences and revenues. 2. Rise of television. With the advent of TV in the 1950s, audiences had an alternative to cinema for entertainment, leading to a decline in movie ticket sales. 3. New talent and contract freedom. Many actors sought to free themselves from restrictive studio contracts. The emergence of independent agents meant stars could negotiate better terms and move freely among different studios. 4. Foreign films and new markets. European and other international films began to attract American audiences, further shrinking the domestic market for Hollywood films. As the old system crumbled, a new Hollywood emerged in its wake. This era, spanning from the 1960s to the 1980s, was characterized by 1. Directorial freedom. Directors like Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, and Steven Spielberg brought unique visions to the big screen, steering away from the formulaic approach of the studios. 2. Complex narratives and themes. Films started tackling mature and controversial subjects, reflecting the changing societal values of the times. 3. Rise of independent cinema. Without the shadow of big studios, independent filmmakers had more freedom to create unique and niche films. The decline of the studio system marked the end of an era, but it paved the way for the dynamic, diverse, and director-driven films of the new Hollywood era. While we often celebrate the icons in front of the camera, it's essential to appreciate the historical shifts behind the scenes that shape our cinematic world. We hope you found this journey informative and intriguing. Until next time, happy learning!